I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And check it out. I have a wonderful guest who always is here and ready. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into the show. We're going to go ahead and welcome Coach Smith. Coach Smith, what's going on, sir? How are you? Let me bring you
doing great tonight.
Man, let me bring you in here real quick. There we go. All right, there you go, Coach. Man, it's so great to see you. I was kidding before about you being healthy today. I don't hear any coughing or anything, man. Are you 100% now?
Yeah, I'm back to 100%, maybe 99%, but definitely much better than the last couple of weeks. Still clearing my throat a little bit, but yeah, my energy's back and feeling much better. So
good.
I always feel good when when the Dodgers win the World Series. So nothing to complain about.
Man, let's talk about it before we get into the show, man. I mean, first of all, you're 10-0, and so talking about championship behavior, man. I mean, where were you last week? Because last Monday when we were live, I think it was probably like near the end of maybe the 7th or 8th inning. I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was that game one?
No, that was the first
Milwaukee
game.
Series?
Dang, was it? I
can't remember what game it was. It was a good game. I remember we were both going back and forth trying to watch the game. I can't remember what series it was. But
no, you know what? No, it was. I think it was our first game here at home. That's what it was because the playoffs started Friday, so they played Friday, Saturday. They traveled Sunday, and that was game 3. Okay. That was the game.
Okay, that's right.
That was the game they played two games in one.
Oh, that was the 18th inning game. That's right. That was game 3. That's right. That's right. Yeah. But no, just happy they got back to back, and hopefully we can three-peat it and celebrate again next year.
Man, now I had the blue flu. So did you catch a hold of the blue flu?
No, I didn't.
No, okay. You're probably like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about calling off, Coach. I'm talking about calling off and going to the parade or the celebration at Dodger Stadium.
I wanted to, but I went to work. I had missed so much time last week being sick. If I didn't, I probably would have caught the blue flu.
Okay. So I'll deal with the consequences tomorrow. Because when I left the phone call, they were like, Mr. Riley, you got the blue flu? Yeah, I got the blue flu.
I'm
Oh
sure
man,
there's about 50,000 people at that stadium I saw.
man, it
So I'm
was.
sure everybody caught the blue.
Listen, it was packed at the parade and at the stadium. So no, it was super super nice, man. I was bummed out at first because I did not get a ticket, but then I reached out to a couple of my friends and they're like, "Hey, I got a ticket." I was like, "All right." It's
Nice.
like it's $52. I said, "Okay."
I think every city should have a local holiday the day after a World Series win, if it's a weekday.
Man, even a
I think
Super
that they
Bowl. I
should
mean,
do
because
that.
folks,
Yeah,
even
Super
if you
Bowl. Yeah,
don't
yeah.
win, it's like, okay, folks, some folks, like I don't drink, so, some folks are hungover. They need a little extra time to kind of
Right.
sober up,
Exactly.
so, no, it was a
Exactly.
super, and I'm hoping that they do three-peat as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
Coach.
we're up there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So your team just wrapped up an incredible season, right? Going 10-0. 10-0. First of all, let me just go ahead and I think I got the right sound. There we go. 10-0. That's super, super cool. Super, super cool. That's perfection on paper, right? You could have scripted any better than that. But we know what the real story is, and it kind of stands out. And so, being displaced by the fire and that whole scenario and everything. So again, I'm wearing a hat, so I can tip my hat to you guys. Super, super nice. 10-0 is impressive in any context, but what's wild is that in every one of those wins, they came at an away kind of situation because we're not at the stadium by the sea. How did your team maintain that focus and drive week after week, especially on the road?
Yeah, I've said it before. Every day is a road game for us. Just having to get on the bus, pack up, travel to wherever we're practicing. So, I think we kind of got used to that routine. So, every week was a road game for us, and we got used to that routine. So we knew what we had to do. We knew we had to be on time. We had to kind of hurry up when we got to where we were to dress, get ready to stretch and everything. So, you know, having a road game was just kind of a normal day for us, and the kids really bought in to what we had to do. Um, they knew the goal in hand was to not just win the league, but to win the city title, and they're still on that path to do so. So, in the beginning, we saw the schedule, and everybody said, "Hey, we have a legit chance to go undefeated, and we have to focus." Each win, we knew a bullseye was going to be on our back. A bigger bullseye was going to be on our back each week, and we just had to keep the kids focused and understanding what the goal was, and it wasn't just to go undefeated and just win the league. We want to win the city title, but we have to prepare for that. And I told them at Fairfax, I said, we're game planning for Fairfax, but we're preparing for playoffs in the
Mm,
championship. So
yeah,
I think they understood the assignment.
assignment. Yeah. Um, you had several games at Santa Monica College. You had a game at SoFi, and we'll talk about senior night in a couple of minutes. How did those neutral site experiences impact your players' mindset and their energy throughout the season?
At Santa Monica College, I mean, it really felt like we were at Palisades. And
Mm,
after the Granada game, the weather was there. We had the crowd.
yeah,
Just the energy. It still felt like we were by the sea, even though we are a few blocks, up eastern
yeah,
from the ocean. But it just felt like we were at Palisades, and having the band there, the cheerleaders, the huge crowd. Like I said, the weather.
yeah.
Obviously, it was a big game. It was our first, technically our first home game of the season. So, being at and we practiced there up for a whole month. So it really did feel like we were at home because we were kind of familiar being there that
With
whole month
everything,
prior.
right?
Yeah. So, they just felt like home. And then with SoFi, that's just something, that's just a special place to be in. And we kind of joked before the game, say, we've practiced here, but tonight, Friday night just felt different. Having a crowd there, being an actual game, it was just, even though it was the same building, it just felt different having a home game there. So, the kids really feed off the energy, and we try to prepare them for the worst and hope for the best. And like I said, the kids adapt very well.
Yeah, no, they have. They've, just seeing their demeanor on the field, and I don't get too much now to interact with them off the field, but while they're there, on the field, they're locked in, they're focused, they're ready, and that's all you can ask your players to do. Just, uh, just to do your thing and give it their all.
Yeah.
And leave all that other stuff behind. All the grades and whatever. Just leaving all that stuff behind. And so your first week ended up a bye because our opponent didn't have a team or whatever the situation was. How did that unexpected start set the tone, and did it throw you off, or did it give you extra time to prepare?
It I kind of knew a couple weeks in advance.
Hmm.
Just it was kind of a heads up, like, hey, they might not have a team. Just be ready to find another opponent. I didn't want to tell the kids because I didn't want them to say, hey, I didn't want to be like, hey, we might not play. I didn't know what their demeanor would be like, and then all of a sudden we had a game. So I kind of kept it under wraps, just
Hmm.
and still prepared as if we had a game that week. There were some other things brewing up in the air. We could have possibly played a game. Another team had to kind of agree to that and kind of change. So it would have been a kind of a big deal if we had played that week zero. We ended up that next week after I found out Diamond League didn't have a game that we could have possibly played week, I think it was week 5 or 4, which would have been right before league. And my whole thing is we won 10 games. 2 years ago we only got 9 games with the electricity going out at the school, so we didn't get that 10th game. And I
Mm.
didn't want to play another season with only 9 games, so I was
Right.
determined to get that 10th game. And um, with everything going on from January, week by week, there was changes. So I think the kids had enough experience to adapt to things that just kind of happened right away. We'd be on the field, and then 5 minutes later, we had to get kicked off the field and go to another field and practice over there. So, any changes that came up this year, the kids have been used to that and been adapted to it. And the Diamond League game was just another bump in the road. We had to detour,
Hmm.
got back on track, and we were able to win 10 games in a row, which it's hard to do with no bye.
Yeah, I will just, we've had this conversation, just bouncing back and forth, man. I think Amber added a comment. Let me just pop it up here on the screen real quick. She said, not once. She said, not once have I heard Dylan say that any player complained about practice or where it was being held. They all have coaching staff. Uh, and all of them are united together and really came together. So that's super super nice. Again, congrats to you, and that's someone who's really that very very well. And then one band, okay, Coach T always says one band, one sound. We all we have. And that's
That's
just
Coach
leaning.
DT. That's our DB coach
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah. Coach Dante, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What up, Coach? Yeah, just leaning on the brothers that you have, and you know, isolating all that other noises outside, and just leaning on your boys, leaning on the coaches to make everything happen. Thank you guys for being here and contributing to the show tonight. Okay, so a few more questions as we before we get into the wrap up. Let me see. Your practice schedule all over the place, man. You were UCLA to the beach to Santa Monica to Palms to wherever you are now, man. I mean, it's just been crazy, and so it kind of speaks to the comment that Amber just left in terms of being positive. How did you and the team stay adaptable and positive through it all? And I think you kind of answered that a little bit, but just kind of give a little bit, just a little extra something on that question.
Yeah, I mean, we just told them we can't make excuses. Um, I don't want to sound cold, but we kind of told the team, our community is behind us 100%. Or, even the whole country, they're behind us. But as soon as we get on that field, that team we're playing does not care about our situation. We have to come in focused and still play hard. And everybody's going to want to knock us out, give us that first loss,
Mm.
and we just got to come out there and get, we're going to get everybody else's best. We got to reciprocate that. So, as much as, like I said, the Chargers, Rams, the country, our communities behind us, whoever we play that week, whether it's Harvard, Westlake, Brentwood, Venice, Westchester, whoever, that they don't care one bit about what we've gone through the last 9 months. So we always have to come in focused and ready to play.
Yeah, I mean, and the word that speaks for me is just being resilient, right? Just being able to bounce back. And again, we know the whole story, but just sticking together like glue. My one of the leaders at my church always say a band of brothers, and so you have to be that band of brothers. Where you got the team and the coaches, and of course the Pali supporters as well. So you guys just have bonded throughout the whole season to make things happen. So again, super, super dope. And when I think about you guys, I think about that R word, resilient, being resilient. So let's go ahead and hop into Thursday night's game. It wasn't Friday, which kind of threw. I don't know if it was. I don't know if you felt the difference, Coach, but I was just like, man, it felt like a Friday night. I mean, was I the only one? What about you, Coach?
It did, because when I woke up the next day, I thought it was Saturday. so, so I was like, do I have to go to work today? It felt kind of weird, but
I was sluggish.
Yeah,
I was just like, man, what's going on?
We actually got home earlier than normal, so it's actually good. But no, it did. Like I said, the band was out. It was a huge crowd for a Thursday night game, and I know the next day was Halloween, so it was good to actually get a huge crowd, and it was a special night, regardless of what night of the day was, what night of the week it was, and like I said, it kind of threw me off the next morning. I thought I could sleep in a little bit, but no, it was a very special night.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I was sluggish. I was like, man, I was just, okay, it is Halloween. And, I was supposed to wear a certain thing. And I didn't feel like, whatever this first day, I saw a Dodgers uniform or a Dodgers jersey and, a cap. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go as a disgruntled Dodgers fan, because at that point,
they're lost, right?
I'm just like, come on, man. So yeah, they were down and they were able to pull it out. So we already talked about that. So yeah, but yeah, it kind of threw me off. But no, it was a wonderful experience being there, and I'm sure the kids had a wonderful time. And shout out to the Chargers again for making everything happen at SoFi. It was super good. It was kind of different having both teams on one side so close together. I know the opposite team was, at least the cheerleaders were on both sides, right?
Yeah.
And so they kind of got mad at me a couple of times because I was in their way. But I'm like, hey, I got it. Y'all on my side of the field. Go right over there. Anyway, let's go ahead and transition, man, and talk about, just the game of the week. And so do our regular recap. So Fairfax. Final score was 40-33. Scoring by quarter, Pali, 7-6, 14, and 13, which came out to 40. Fairfax, 7-6, 0, and 20. Jack passing for, another 300-plus yard game, 14 of 24 for 386 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Receiving, DeMar DeZern, 7 receptions, 255, 3 touchdowns. Malik Ross, 6 for 111, 2 touchdowns. Defense, Allen, Talbert, and Townsley, each having 11 tackles each. So, what was your overall thought about how well they performed? Now, I do have some follow-up questions about, some of the other positions, but just overall, what did you tell your players after the game? And, especially, with them scoring 20 points in the fourth quarter, just kind of, tell us what you told the team after the game was over.
I think I just told them I was proud of them and I loved them. We told them we won league outright. That was our goal for the week. You don't want to share anything. So I told them coming in, this is our title to take. So I told them how proud I am of them, and we got to get ready for the playoffs. Didn't dwell on the game too much. Just wanted them to really have their moment to themselves and just kind of prepare them for what our schedule was going to be for the next week. But the main thing was I just told them how proud I was and what they've been through and what they accomplished. I don't see anybody else doing this ever again. And they made history and just how resilient they are and just it's just a special night overall with senior night and everything that went on that night. It's just unbelievable.
Absolutely. Jack had a monster game. I mean, almost 400 yards passing, 5 TDs, no interceptions. And I think we always talk about Jack, but because we are at the end of the season, what can you say about the growth that you've seen through him throughout the whole entire season?
Yeah. I thought he's I thought he was pressing a little bit, even though his numbers are amazing. I thought he was pressing a little bit in the beginning of the season, and I feel like as the weeks gone by, he's kind of slowed himself down, which I think has made him play even better. His numbers over the last few weeks, I think he's thrown 300 yards twice and 40 yards, besides a uni game. So like 3 out of the last 4 games, he's thrown over 300 yards and, having almost 50 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. I mean, 15-1
that's pretty dope right there.
Yeah, yes, that's a crazy number. Like I said, I think, he's kind of playing within the offense a little bit more, not pressing as much. And when he does that, he's unstoppable. And one of his rushing touchdown, I think the fourth quarter, I wasn't expecting it. I thought he was going to pull and pass it, and he made the perfect read and took off and ran with the ball. So, like I said, when he runs the offense within the offense, there's no stopping him, and it opens up for him to be able to pass the ball more, and that's what happened. So he's going to be dangerous these next few games. Hopefully, we get these next few games, and if he's playing the way he did on Thursday, I don't think anybody's going to stop us in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And I was even looking at just where he ranks. I think amongst the state. I mean, I believe was top 6 in the state. And then he has some crazy, stupid receivers who know how to catch the ball. You got Malachi Ross, who stepped in, and he's been big. He's been huge this season. And then Damari Desern. I mean, he's like 7th in the state. So it's just like you got players, and they're putting up numbers like that, and they have a wonderful support cast, man. I know you have some folks who are injured, who were not able to play the past few games. But, man, I mean, just, the sky's the limit for this squad, right, Coach?
Yeah, I believe so. I think when we have all cylinders, rolling together, nobody can stop us. And, we play fast and we play, smart and spread the ball around. You double team Damari, but you're going to leave Malachi one-on-one. That's not fair. If you double team Malachi, there's no way you're going to leave Damari one-on-one. And he even beats double teams because he's so fast. And, even with Harrison and being able to be a dual threat, now you have to account for him. So it's, we lost him, but, Deveron's running the ball well. So you can't just load up to stop the pass. You kind of have to keep an extra guy in the box, which leaves room for Jack to throw the ball. And, Matias has been playing well the last couple of weeks with a few, big catches. So now you have to count for our tight end. So
a tall tight end too.
Right.
I call him a tall drink of water, right? Every time I see him, like, this dude is a tall drink of water. So you got to account for Matias because he's what, like 6'6", 6'7"?
6'7". Yeah. So you have to count for everybody. You can't just focus on one guy. So it makes our offense hard to stop.
Yeah, that QB receiver. I mean, that's a special connection right there, Coach. So, that's what I'm looking to see. I know, last year he would pull it down and run in a heartbeat, but I think this time he's taking a lot more patience, looking for the receivers and, just flicking it out there. Now, let me ask you, because there were, we only received 3 penalties for, I think it was 45 yards. How do you feel about that last touchdown Damari called and kind of did a little standover? Did you say anything to him after that play?
You know, any other game I would have been mad. To, Thursday night was a night of fun,
I
and
got you.
he didn't do anything egregious.
Yeah,
He didn't do the machine gun or anything like that, or
yeah,
be disrespectful. And I will say Fairfax, they had a lot to say. So
got you.
he got one, so I let him
Yeah,
get his one. But
yeah,
in the playoffs, we have to be careful of that because any yards in the playoffs we're gonna need. So
absolutely.
I think at that time we were up, pretty big, and like I said, it was a matter of fun. So I looked the other way on that one. I didn't see what happened until I saw the film. Actually, I didn't see exactly what he did.
Yeah,
Somebody told
no,
me that he had got a
yeah,
penalty, but when I saw it, it wasn't terrible.
yeah, yeah.
It was worth the flag, but it wasn't terrible.
So basically, I mean, because players and teams, they go back and back, back and forth, the week of the game, and so that is the game within the game. That's why he was just like,
Right.
look, you can't hold me, because some of the kids know each other and they'll go back on Instagram or whatever. They don't use Facebook like the adults, but they'll go and to their social media and put up pictures and yell rah 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 at each other. So that's probably what that was. Like, look, bruh, I got you. I own you. So that was
Right.
pretty cool. Let me hop into these comments. We have quite a few folks with us tonight, and so we thank you for being here. Devron says hard work and dedication always pays off. Absolutely. And then this is my dude right here now, Rico Rashad 1700. He says, "Congrats, coach, on a 10-0 regular season. Hope you guys win it all in the playoffs." Absolutely. And then Desmond Desern, "Congratulations to Palisades on a great season from the Desern family. But as Kobe Bean Bryant said, job's not done." Absolutely. No, job is not done. And we want to talk about the playoff situation. We're going to touch on it a little bit, but we're definitely going to carve out some time next week, so we're not going to get into it too much today. All righty. Let's talk about just being there. Make sure I got all my Fairfax scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. What adjustments are you looking to make defensively before the playoffs?
I will say, and this is my fault. At the end, I gave up those 7 points. So I would say the defense didn't give up 20 points. We did the fake punt. I promised the kids we would do the fake punt. During senior night, I try to give certain seniors their moment.
Yeah.
I promised Nico if we get a chance to do the fake punt, we'll do it. We kind of got the wrong call, wrong direction call, so it didn't work out the way I wanted to. And then they threw the bomb, so I'll take that one. And I feel like the game was over, so I was like, "Yeah, we'll just do it now." But we just have to stop the run. It's an elephant in the room. It's no secret. We have to be able to stop the run. Garfield's a run-heavy team. We had a meeting tonight with the coaches, for our game plan going into next week, and we all agree that we got to change up some stuff and focus on stopping the run, and hopefully, in early downs we can get them into passing situations. That's going to go in our favor. So, we made some adjustments with X's and O's, some personnel adjustments, and we got 2 weeks to work on it. So I think we have a pretty good game plan defensively to do that.
Yeah, I think the last time we played Garfield, I think we won. I think we defeated them, but that was a couple of years ago. This is a new team, new players, probably new coaching staff, definitely for us. So it's going to be a grind because they love to run the ball, and in fact, a lot of the teams that we I would say have difficulty with is just the run, right? And so just trying to shore up that thing. We already know the offense can go. That's not a problem. But it's just the fact that we need to get our players ready, to wrap up instead of reaching and then contain. I'm sounding like a coach, contain on the outside. And I only know this because that's what folks are saying on the live stream. And so, people know ball. right? And so that's what
We're
they're,
saying
you
it
know,
on the
kind of
field too. Trust me.
absolutely. And
We're
so,
yelling on the field.
yeah, so I'm not being critical. You know, I want to make sure, you know, Coach, you understand. I'm not being critical of, you know, what you
No,
guys are
no.
doing. It's just, you know, if you know football, if you know sports, then you know where some of the loose areas are. And so that's always been a point of concern for, you know, I know for you, for us as observers and things of that nature. So, Coach, all we need to know is Coach has a plan and he's going to try his best to execute the plan. Well, actually, he's going to execute the plan. The boys in the game need to play up to the standard that he wants them to play and be able to stop the run. So we all know that. In fact, one of our parents got really kind of frazzled because we have a resident coach who's always, I mean, he's real supportive of Pali. He's a former coach at Dorsey, and he always pops on. He kind of gives us 2 cents. He's like, look, you know, if you guys go about 3 touchdowns, you might be the 2 or 3 seed, right? And, you know, so just little things. And so one of the parents was like, hey, we don't care what you think. And I was just like, oh, hold on now. You know, he's a little bit right? He's, you know, so I just kind of stayed out of it a little bit. But, I mean, you have those thoughts. And so, you know, it's good that you guys know what you're going to do and all that kind of good stuff. All right. So let's move on. We're kind of nearing the end of the show. So we've talked about us being ranked the 4th seed on the open division. So, Coach, before we leave, maybe can you tell the difference between, or explain the difference between the open division and Division One, which is the division that we played in against King Drew when we went to the playoffs a couple was that last year?
Last year. Last
Okay,
year.
there you go.
Yeah, the open division is just it's the top 8 teams in the whole city. I think there's 65 teams in the city, so the top 8 go to the open division, which is why we have a bye because Division 1, 2, and 3 they have 16 teams. There's only 8, so in order to have the same amount of, in order to finish the same weekend, the open division has a bye the opener round. So we're we're technically the top 4, the 4th best team in the city right now, behind Carson, Birmingham, and San Pedro. I personally thought we could be the 3 seed, but you know, strength of schedule between Carson and Pedro dropped us down to 4th, and Birmingham, you know, winning 53 straight City Tech games, and their strength of schedule being a little tougher, got the 2 seed. So, you know, I think we're about right where we are, or we're supposed to be, regardless of us being undefeated. You know, I think we got a favorable bracket playing Carson and possibly playing Carson or King Drew in the next round. So, you know, I'm happy with where we are.
Yeah. What's your mindset in preparation for heading into this playoff matchup against Garfield? Just kind of what's your mindset in terms of, you know, just yourself and your staff, and then, you know, kind of communicating that to the boys as well, getting them ready, not for a game this weekend, but for next weekend.
I think our mindset this week just needs to be more mental preparation. You know, watching a lot of film, getting prepared. You know, implementing the game plan. Um, you know, tomorrow, we're going to be in just shirts and t-shirt, kind of get our body, you know, back healthy, and then we're just going to be in shells the rest of the week. Just kind of like I said, getting more mental reps in, saving our body. You know, we don't need anybody hurt going to this playoff game, so just kind of recovery week, but also getting some good reps in. You know, we're not going to hit much, but we're going to still condition and run, and you know, go full speed. Just you know, because we have to do that. And then next week is just going to be game week like we normally do, full pads Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, walk through Thursday, and then get ready for Friday. So you know, we just have an extra week to get our minds ready, prepare, watch a lot of film. You know, I have 10 weeks of film on Garfield, so I've been watching a lot of film, a lot more than we usually get. We usually get about 2 or 3 weeks of film. You know, we have 10 weeks, literally 10 weeks of film on them, different angles, end zone views, sideline views. So we're gonna watch them at every angle and make sure the kids, you know, aren't surprised by anything they do.
If you had to describe this entire season in one word, I mean, because think about it, man. You know, except for the 2 games and 1 game at SoFi, You were on the road. You had some tough battles. I mean, you had some blowouts, but you had to do it on the road. You didn't have a weight room, and here's the thing too, Coach. After the game Thursday, as I was exiting, two parents were talking behind me, and they were just like, "Yeah, this team, they battled. They didn't have a real practice field, and they played all the games on the road, and they didn't have access to weight rooms, and blah 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 blah." And they were just kind of giving some of the accolades, and I was just like, "Oh," I was just ear hustling. I was like, "Okay, you know your stuff." I mean, it's just crazy good that you guys were 10-0 without a weight room. You had major, transportation area issues or practice schedules. How would you, in one word, describe this entire season?
Crazy, probably. Honestly, I can think of a few words, but one day it's crazy, another day it can be surreal, unbelievable. I mean, honestly, I can't put it into one word. It's just each day it's just something different, and tomorrow, it might be something crazier.
Yeah.
Flag football plays on the field that we're going to be using tomorrow, so we might be sharing the field with 10-year-old flag football team. So
Right.
maybe they can give us a look on a scout or something. I don't know, but it's just like I said. One day it's crazy, another day it's surreal, another day it's unbelievable. It's just really hard to put into one word.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a couple more comments that I want to drop in, and then we're going to give you some flowers as well, like they say at the church house. We want to give respect to where respect is due. Rico said, I watched Carson play against San Pedro for the Marine League title. You guys can beat both, but your defense has to play a lot better in the playoffs. So he's saying something that we've kind of discussed. My good friend Val, she just popped in. She said, hey, fam, just popping in to say hey. And then she also offers congrats. Let's see. Damon Desern says, I believe the defense will show up. These kids are special. And then Amber says, it's a remarkable period in time. And then for my folks watching over on Facebook, and I should have gave this disclaimer earlier. It's like, look, if you want to be where the action is and get your comments on the screen, you need to come over to the YouTube. But I do see the comments over here. So Reggie T. Hammond Sr. says, hey, congratulations to all of y'all. And then Erwin Woodard, when we were talking about the blue flu, he said, yeah, I saw your post, teacher. Shh. Don't tell nobody. LAUSD wasn't off today. Yeah, I'm not gonna make a comment. And then Jesus Sign says, I didn't need. Oh, okay. He didn't need to go to the parade because it passed by his office. So,
Nice.
just talking about the Dodgers and all that kind of good stuff. No, man, it's been a remarkable season, Coach, and I just. It's just great. So now on to bigger and better things, and we'll wait and see next week, and we'll talk about next week. Next week, we'll get the particulars about Garfield and all that kind of good stuff, and maybe a little bit more insight in terms of how you're going to defend. We already know what the offensive plan is going to be. Feed Jack, or not feed Jack. Jack is going to feed DeMar. He's going to feed Malachi and whoever else is available. If Devron is able to go, we gonna feed, and make sure we get into the end zone. So there was a special situation that happened last week, Coach. You mind discussing what happened last week after the game?
I don't know what you're referring to, but no, I'm kidding. Before I start, I want to shout out. I don't know if he's listening or this gets to him, but Zach, who's been helping us out from the Chargers. I can't say enough about what he's done. 2 days after the fire, I reached out to the Chargers and I asked them, do you guys have any old weight equipment or any equipment that you guys are going to throw away? if you do, we'll take it on. We lost everything, and the very next day he got back to me and called me and said he's going to help this team out any way he can, and they're in it for the long haul. And people say that, and they do one or two things and they kind of move on. But every step of the way, Zach has done and gone over and beyond our expectations and what I expected the Chargers to do. And there's nothing I could do or say to pay him back for what he's done for us and me. And hopefully this gets to him and we can send this out to him. But I can't thank him enough, and I wish there was something we could do or give to him, because he's just, I mean, he's remarkable. He's helped us through everything. So shout out to Zach, and he's the one that presented me the Coach of the Week award. So I also want to thank everybody who voted and sent out votes, send out the link for everybody to vote, family, friends, and everything. And I would say this is not just my award; it's the coach's award. I'm not the one out there coaching by myself. And we don't say enough about these guys. Coach Sir, Coach DT, Coach Julian, Coach Brandon, Coach Shael. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but those guys are with me every day, and away from their family, trying to get these players ready. And like I said, they're driving around and from field to field as well, and losing sleep, and they're going through a lot as well. So it's not just my award; it's all of our awards. So again, thank everybody, and it's a really special moment.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a special moment, and I have video. There is video. However, because I think I used up all my memory today at the stadium, I was unable to airdrop it to my device here. So we'll post that thing and let folks see. So just in case you don't know, he was nominated. Coach Smith was nominated last week for the Week 9 Chargers Coach of the Week, and so we sent out a link. I think it went out Tuesday, and folks had an opportunity to to share the link and also to vote for Coach. And so I believe this is his second time being nominated. And I think last year you had a nomination and you won that award as well, right, Coach?
It's the year before. Yeah.
Year before.
My first year, yeah.
There you go. So just super nice. And what comes with it is, I believe you're going to be invited to a game. Is that what happens later on this season?
They invite all the winners. Yeah, they invite all the winners out. They announce them on the field, and they do the Coach of the Year as well same day. So it's going to be a nice time.
Man, you got my vote for Coach of the Year. I don't care. I mean, ain't nobody going through what you and your coaching staff and the players and the Pali supporters are going through. So, man. I mean, you guys have made national news, local news, and so just super, super dope. And I can't wait to, do what I do and try to capture footage and make some things happen for you guys. So super awesome.
Sure.
And man, so let's finish up with senior night, man. I mean, I know that was an awesome feat that took place at the beginning or before the game, before Thursday's game. And so if you're just new to the broadcast, both the Chargers and Rams have poured into the Pali football team, whether inviting them. I know one of the teams invited you guys to practice at SoFi for 2 days a few weeks ago. And then you guys had this wonderful opportunity to play at SoFi and host your senior night. Just kind of give us a brief overview of kind of what happened and how did the boys react just to being, recognized as seniors at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it was a special night for them. It was, put together very well by our QB club. Much props to all of them who, dedicated their time and effort to put this thing together and give the seniors a special night. We couldn't do it at Pali, obviously. So just having them, make it special for them at SoFi. Like I said, these kids in the last 4 years have been through COVID and then now the fire. So, they deserve to have something special for the last, technically the last home game. Um, we didn't get the crowd out there because the gates didn't open till 5, and we had to do the ceremony a little earlier. But the rest of the team were out there. There's a lot of parents on the other side cheering them on, and it was just a special night to be able to walk down the field, take a picture, at SoFi, and be honored for the last home game. So it was from start to finish was just a perfect night. And
No,
they
it
won the
was.
last home game in one league, so it was like I said, it was just start to finish. It was special.
Yeah, and for me, that was one thing. It's like, okay, after all of this, like you 10-0, it's like, oh, and we won league.
Right.
So
That's the afterthought, which is crazy.
yeah, it's just like, oh man, we had senior night SoFi and we won 10-0, and it's like, oh, by the way, you guys are league champions. So that's super, super nice, man. Coach, man, I really appreciate you hopping on. And I think we wanted to close. We talked about it at the in the pregame, and I think you mentioned it a little bit in terms of where the game might be possibly. So right now there is no game scheduled for our playoff game, or no site scheduled for
Inside, right?
our game. Correct?
Correct. So there's three possibilities. One we talked about was Santa Monica College. The thing with that is city section, the top seed gets home games. Southern section goes home road. So St. Monica's, who has the rights to SMC, they play at home this week. Now the next team they play has so the team they play is home first, and they win. It's a coin toss. So if home and home win, they get the coin toss. So there's a possibility they could play on the road or have another home game. If the road team wins, they're supposed to play. They have the home game no matter what St. Monica's does. So we technically have to wait till Friday night to see if we can get Santa Monica College because of how Southern Section their rules work with home and road playoff games. Southwest College is another option, and then El Camino College is the third option. So those are three options we're looking at right now. So I'm hoping we can get Santa Monica College and St. Monica's, whether they lose or win, somehow they go on the road. So we're hoping for that scenario where we can get Santa Monica College and be closer to home. If not, we'll be either at Southwest or El Camino,
Yeah.
or who knows where we'll
somewhere
be.
else.
But we're trust me, we're working on a lot of different options, but those are the top three right now.
Absolutely, man.
We'll play anywhere at this point.
I'm trying to think. Have football will play, right? It just doesn't
Yes.
matter where. But I mean, I kind of like the El Camino because that's like right down the street from
That's
the
right, my
pad.
instruction. Yeah.
I mean, Southwest is not that bad either because
West
that's
is probably closer. That's
that's a little closer too.
Gardena, Hawthorne, yeah.
Absolutely. And matter of fact, they're probably about the same. No, I think Southwest is closer to where I live, and then you have to travel a little bit, but it's all good. It's all good. No, Coach, I appreciate you hopping on, man. Let's do it again next week, man. We'll get into just a little bit more about Garfield, and I promise you guys it won't be as long as it is today. But no, tonight was a special night because we were talking about the seniors. We're talking about just being able to play at SoFi and being 10-0 and winning league. So, Coach Smith, I really appreciate you, man. And I know you said a lot. And usually at the end of the show, I'll give you the last word. So, if you want to say something again to the folks who really support Pali football, the mic is yours.
Yeah, definitely. Can't thank everybody enough again for supporting the kids. Shout out to the parents too. All the parents who take bottles home to wash, take the water jugs home, and equipment, tables. I mean, it's really been a group effort to allow us coaches to be able to coach, and everybody's doing their part to make this season special. So again, I wish I could thank everybody enough and do what I can, but just know that you're appreciated a lot for what you guys have been doing. And again, for everybody else, please continue to support the team and come out and watch our playoff game and be loud for the kids because they deserve it, and they really do feed off that energy. And I think it's going to be a good run for us. Hopefully we get 3 more games at minimum, and continue this season. I don't want it to be over yet. So, and I know the kids don't. So please, just keep on coming out and supporting the team.
Absolutely. Coach, we appreciate you, man. Just hang out in the green room. I'm going to close up the shop, and then we'll chop it up a little bit once the show is done. So appreciate you being available tonight for our weekly live stream.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. There it is, guys. The man, the myth, the legend right there, Coach Dylan Smith, just, doing what he has done, since he's been at Pali. Just, win, 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 right? Isn't that what DJ Khaled says? Win, 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 and they're doing well at winning, and hopefully with your support, they can continue to win and go far, deep, and wide into the playoffs and actually come out with a chip. Chip City, y'all, Chip City. That's what we want tonight. But it's one game at a time. So again, I appreciate Coach Smith hopping on, being available. And I also appreciate you guys because without you guys watching and interacting, engaging during the live stream, where would we be? So I only have one ask. And my ask is this. If you can right now, go ahead and hit that like button, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Go ahead and hit that like button. We're close. We're approaching 300 subscribers. And so if you haven't done so already, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And then that way you will be notified when we are live. All right. So we appreciate that. And other than that, because I can ramble, but I'm not going to. This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next Monday because there's no game this week, guys. No game this week. We have a bye week, and then we'll see you next Monday here on This Week at Pali Football. Thank you, guys, and catch you in the next video. Have a great week. Peace. Go Dolphins.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings.